If we can only remove theft, theft will free the resources to develop this country. And you are taxing, including dead people. Somebody is lying sick in hospital, you are taxing them. On Twitter, somebody say, hey, Manyora has been saying this because I've been saying if I'm president, within 5 years there will be no Kibera, there will be no Kawangware.
Hello there and welcome to Professor Herman Manyora's channel. My name is Jadel Kibero. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, thanks for coming through.
Thank you too.
Today's conversation, we're talking about an economical model that former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has introduced. He's saying he's calling it the urban-rural integration, trying to bring more of urbanization to rural areas. Some of the things that the former Prime Minister mentioned that will lead to this transformation includes pursue massive investment in development planning specific to rural areas, pursue massive investment in rural infrastructure, provide clean water, provide reliable, cheap electricity, provide good public schools, and also invest in food production, provide reliable, efficient, and quality healthcare resources in rural areas. These are just some of the things that the former Prime Minister thinks should be able to help our country economically. And my thoughts are, is this the way forward for Kenya? Urban-rural integration.
First, he must get power. Any economic model he wants to put in place, he must get power. You don't get power through this rubbish. This can't give you power. You play politics to get power. Number one. And I've said it repeatedly. Number two, we all know there is too much strain on our urban centers, especially Nairobi. And therefore, to ease that strain and offload it to the rural areas will be a way to go. In fact, the projections are that as we move forward, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, most of populations are going to be urban. And this will happen because rural areas are going to turn urban. And devolution is aiding. So there's nothing much Raila is saying that is not known. But this cannot transform this country.
What would you say then would transform the country?
You are not going to do all the things he's saying if people continue stealing money. With this massive theft of public resources, there's nothing you'll do. You cannot talk of, he's talking about electrical, whatever.
Healthcare, electricity.
But the money is all stolen. We know you cannot have competitive rates for our electricity because of what's going on, because of the corruption in the energy sector. So I think you must show me how you'll free money from corruption and theft. Then you talk about these things. First, free money from corruption, from theft. And then you tell him, now I have this money, now I move forward. And when you are moving forward, you must also tell me the fight against corruption must be a sustainable and manageable war. You get it? And tell me how.
Manageable too.
Yeah. Tell me how you are going to fight theft. Which is what I'm more interested in. These things. These are in the textbook. They're everywhere.
So for you, the first thing that you should see
stop theft
as an economical model.
Yes, stop theft. Tell me. And show me how you will do it. Don't just talk.
Managing it.
Managing corruption. How will you? Theft. Now, once you have the money, tell me you understand the theft that's going on in the energy sector before you talk about massive infrastructure.
Electricity.
You know, a road that is supposed to cost 200 million, it is going to cost 3 billion. Unless you sort out that, you are just talking. Just talk.
DP's supporter, WSR,
yes,
his supporters are saying Baba is now copying our guy.
No,
is this bottom-up approach?
All of them, this bottoms-up is even more useless. It's nothing. What you need to do if you want to change this country, and I'm telling both the Ruto and the Raila, is to make Kenya a welfare state. First.
Welfare.
A welfare state.
What do you mean by welfare?
And welfare state means there are certain services that are given to the citizens free. Quality education. Free, quality education. All classrooms must be of a certain standard. Not where the 95% of our classes are. No. Quality classrooms, quality education, quality teachers, well paid. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Quality health care, free. If a country like UK developed where everybody is almost rich and they are giving it free quality health care. You get what I'm saying? The way it was after independence.
But some Kenyans don't want less. Kenyans want to be rescued from the tax burden.
I'm going there.
Yeah.
Free quality health education, health care and education. policies to put housing in a range where it is affordable. One of the reasons why houses are more expensive in Nairobi relatively than even New York is that we are so stupid enough to put up land for sale. Land is never for sale in a municipality. You are allocated land to develop. If you fail to develop within a specific period, it inanyanganywa, inapewa mtu mwingine. So these are the things you need to do. And then look at taxation. Ask yourself, whom are you taxing? You are taxing including dead people. Somebody is lying sick in hospital, you are taxing them. Remove something like VAT automatically. Let's not talk about that. That one too. Any tax that does not discriminate, that where you tax everybody from a dying person to a patient to a kid to a mother, remove VAT. Now address other taxes, bring them down, bring incomes up. When people earn good salaries, they invest even in the rural areas. So the things Raila is saying is going to do in the rural areas or Ruto. Huyo mama mboga ukimwempawa anauzia nani hiyo mboga na watu ni maskini hawana pesa. Si watakuja kuiba hiyo mboga tu. If everybody has a mkokoteni or boda, this is rubbish. So you create, you remove theft, you have enough money, then you remove bad taxation, and then you give quality health care and so on. The things that make even people steal. You know, is the pressure on them of health care for loved ones, of education. People don't just steal money. They steal because there are certain things they must do, and they don't have an income. So good income, people will invest, and so on and so forth.
Would you say that our politicians, including former Prime Minister Ruto, Mudavadi, are more focused on creating a livelihood for Kenyans instead of growth in the country in terms of
even that livelihood cannot work. No. Ask Ruto. Bottoms up.
Yeah.
Empower mama mboga. Ako toy market. So you have empowered him. Akirudi anaenda kulala Kibera. Is Kibera a place where a human being should stay in 21st century? I saw something on Twitter. Someone say, hey, Manyora has been saying this because I've been saying if I'm president within 5 years there will be no Kibera. There will be no Kawangware. Mukuru. Akuna hizo vitu mnaita slums. Raise them down. Somebody tweeted recently and said, Manyora, you are right. Egypt has done it. Has brought down slums, all of them.
But how would you do that?
But using the resources we have as a country, which is resources that are being stolen, my friend. And being rational. I will not, and I've said this and people hate me for saying it. I will not allow behind me there, Nairobi National Park, animals are roaming on 30,000 acres, specifically to 9,000 acres of land. Animals zinatembea na binadamu wanakaa Kibera. Me as president, I will not allow that. I cannot allow my people, if I'm the president of the republic, to live like animals in the 21st century and the animals are roaming. I will take them elsewhere. Look at this forest on your left. Ngong forest here. Matajiri wameibaiba kidogo hapo St. Mary's Langata. Unaona? On the southern bypass you can saw some of those matajiri walikubaliwa kuiba kidogo when they were about to be snatched, they are maintained. I will clear this forest, all of it, and make Kenyans staying. And I've given many examples.
There's a time you said for us to deal with the economy, we have to deal with the politics of it first.
Correct.
Is corruption part of the politics?
Correct.
And most people would ask, we have tried to deal with corruption. Can you be able to give a way forward for corruption right now?
First of all, you are right about politics. That's why I'm saying I support BBI as an idea. Once you remove the heat and the friction and the fire in our politics, you have a Kikuyu, the Luya and the Luo sitting together to run a government and campaign for the same government. You put the temperatures down. You see? Patronage goes down. You know, if you are running for president, there are people who support you to get power. Most of them will be Kikuyus if you are a Kikuyu, the businessmen. They give you the billions. Once you get to power, you must allow them to steal money from the public. You must allow them to get a tender that should cost 500 million to build a road, but they must charge 4 billion.
Because they put you there.
Because they put you there. They propped you up. And they have done that using the tribal infrastructure. So once you demolish this kind of politics you are practicing, the tribal element goes down a bit. You don't now organize so seriously along mutu yetu. So then you begin to have politics that has less patronage. And when you are freed from that, just look at the way Uhuru has been freed from that problem by working with Raila. Imagine this is what we will do going forward. That ile friction ya Wajaluo na Wakikuyu, Kalenjin na Waluya hakuna. It's just politics of ideas and what have you. This country can move forward. Then you can do the economics.
But will we see that? Will we be able to see that anytime soon?
Imeanza. Who knew? With this Raila Uhuru thing, it's not a small matter.
Can a person become president without the bad deals?
Without?
The deals that they put sideshows and they make them president.
Of course, politics are dirty game. There will be dirty things. But I'm saying it will not be to the magnitude as to put the country at danger, like where most African countries are.
Finally, Professor, when it comes to the economical models that we've been seeing, you said that it cannot happen without sober leadership. Yeah. Can we see sober leadership in Kenya?
I think we can. I think these guys who are contesting are all sober. These are good people. But they are victims. They are trapped in the tribal politics of this country. So once you are trapped inside there, you can't do your best. You see how free Uhuru is?
Yeah.
And he's saying he has been able to do what he couldn't do. Because he has been freed from the tribal trap. You get it?
Yes.
Because he was put to power by Kikuyus and the Kalenjin. He must be very careful not to antagonize any one of them. You get it? But now you can look somebody in the eye and tell him this is wrong. I'm a Luo, you are a Luo, but this is wrong. As president of this country, I will not allow you to do it. Go home. You can't do that if you need their vote every time. Okay. From a tribal kind of arrangement. Yeah.
So what we're seeing right now is steady leadership, and we have been able to see a country that is growing.
We are growing. This country is growing. Contrary to what people think, we are doing well.
Yeah.
If we can only remove theft, theft will free the resources to develop this country. And then men of ideas will now come to say, okay, we cannot pretend we are doing well when 80% of the people are living in Kibra. You see, but we will get there eventually.
Eventually.
When the politics is good, the money has been freed from theft, and the ideas begin to flow in, not bottoms up, not this rural thing, but well thought out economic ideas of how to move this country forward.
Firstly, before we deal with anything, we deal with corruption.
Corruption.
Okay.
Theft. It's actually theft.
Theft
in itself. Put all these people in within 3 months. You may be forced to do what Jerry Rawlings, but I don't think we can now do it in the 21st century. Round these people, put them in committee, wengine Shimolatewa, wengine Naivasha maximum security prison, then let's move the country forward. Okay, thank you so much, Professor, for having this conversation with me. Go ahead and share, subscribe. If you feel like this message is important, make sure you share it with other people to hear that this is the kind of changes that Kenya needs. Until we have this conversation again, my name is Jedal Kabiro, here with Professor Herman Manyora. Thank you. Thank you.